Okay. Fantastic. I think I have all of it figured out. Everybody on Zoom good? Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Sweet. Awesome. You can also see the slideshow. Sweet. So guys, welcome. Thank you for making time in your schedule to come talk bikes with me. It's so weird talking to the computer as well. I'm going to apologize up front. I will probably swear or say something offensive while I'm talking about bike racing. So if you are offended, tell me and I'll apologize. The main reason of this talk is to make you think. So I'm going to be asking you guys questions. No need to, there's no kind of, nothing formal here, just shout it out. I'm not looking for a right answer. It's trying to make you guys think about bike racing. That's it. Okay. Any questions before we get it going? Sweet. For the people on Zoom, I probably won't be able to see too many questions, but throw them in chat if you want, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. This is a little bit about me. Most of you guys know me already. Started racing in 2008, raced professionally, mostly in North America. Started coaching to pay the bills in 2016. Retired at the end of 2021 due to depression. Doing my degree in clinical psych. I'm coaching full-time and racing for fun. That's it. This is what we're going to be covering today. First, the basics, common language, right? Developing a common language to talk about racing. So when you're in a team meeting, whether that be with Red Shark, with Glotman, UBC, when the coach says this, or the race director says, we're going to catch and kill for the first 20K. What the fuck does that even mean? Right? What does that mean? Common language. We'll talk about chasing teammates down, how to play the game as a team, racing as a percentage game. We're going to base everything we talk about off that. Racing is a percentage game. We're trying to win the bike race. Okay. How to keep it clinical. So how to, and this gets a little bit more into one of my areas of passion, is how do we take emotion out of race plans, right? But race with emotion, so we're not flipping the switch of emotion completely off. Okay, so how do we, it's very easy to flip the switch, numb yourself, right? I have a job to do, I'm going to go do it. So how do we race with passion and emotion, but be thinking about the race clinically? Okay. Attacking, when, why, and how. What do you do once you're away? For those of you that rode with me this morning, we talked a little bit about that. Lead outs, we'll go over the two main kinds of lead outs. We'll talk about covering corners. We'll talk about crosswinds, how to win with crosswinds, attacking and guttering. So that's the idea, is to cover all of this today. We'll bang through it pretty quick, but please, please, please ask questions. Like, I want this to be a discussion. I don't want to just stand up here and right. I want it to be a discussion. Let's turn that shit off. Any questions about this? Sweet. We can talk. I mean, I can talk for days and days and days about bike racing. This is a very brief snapshot at a fairly high level of racing. Like fairly high level stuff. You know, what is a lead out? First of all, you got to know what a lead out is. A lead out is you delivering your sprinter to the line in order for them to win. Okay. So we're talking a little bit high level. This is most of the stuff you're going to encounter in local racing, right? We don't have any climbing races in North America unless you're going to Gila, right? And so talking about setting up a climber for a finish versus setting up a sprinter for a lead out is two very different things. Okay, we can cover that later. Any questions? Any questions from the Zoom? Sweet. Oh. Basics. Cycling racing, bicycle racing is a game of chess. You have no clue who the pieces are in that way. So you show up at a race, say you go down south, collegiate race, whatever, you show up, you have no idea who the sprinters are, you don't know who the climber. I mean, you can look at some guys and be like, nah, you're probably not a sprinter, right? Or yeah, you're probably not a climber, right? But in general, especially at this level of racing, you have no clue who the pieces are for the chess game. Okay, so you're playing a game of chess, you're gonna have no clue who the pieces are. Don't chase your teammates unless they can't win. What do I mean by that? So first of all, any questions about the first point? These are very broad points, and I can bang through them very quick, but I'd love to hear like questions. Like any questions about that? It's a pretty simple statement. Pretty obvious when you break bike racing down that it is a game. Like, I have no idea who the main players are. Sure, you race spring series and you race against the same 20 people every week, and you kind of know who the players are. But you show up at a real bike race, I have no idea, no clue who the best teams are. Right? It's the guys that show up in a minivan and they're smoking a joint behind it that end up winning the crit. And you're like, what? Like these guys showed up on a bus and they are getting dropped. Like, so you never know. Okay, don't chase your teammates unless they can't win. This gets into the percentage game that I want to talk about. And this is where we're going to base everything off of today. So you as a team, however many people there are, whether it's just you or there's 5 or 6 of you, your goal is to win the bike race. Full stop. Right? We're trying to win bike races. We're not just trying to ride around, right? Unless that's what you're into. But I'm not talking about like, don't come to me for riding around. Trying to win the bike race. So we need to maximize our percentage of winning as a team. That's a very, very important distinction to make. You win. Fantastic, awesome, great, cool. You win, the team wins. Hannah wins, the team wins, right? So why would you chase your teammate down? Can anybody think of any examples why you chase your teammate down?
For teammates, like a breakaway guy, say at 350 watts for an hour, it sprints at 600 watts.
Yep. Exactly. Trying to maximize our chance of winning the bike race. So if you say you have a sprinter in the group that you know is probably top 2 sprinters in the group, breakaway goes, one of your teammates who's not a sprinter is in that break. Say there's 4 guys in that break, right? You might look at the numbers and go, okay, the break stays away. That guy has what % chance of winning? Logically, like, what do you think? Well, 25% chance of winning is 4, right? Oh, but he can't sprint. And there's 2 guys in there that can sprint, that I know can sprint. Oh shit, he has maybe a 10% chance of winning, right? Oh, right, there's 2 teammates, and then 1 guy that can sprint. He's got a 1% chance of winning that, right? Are we racing for the win, or are we racing for 4th place? So in that situation, you would go, hey guys, we need to deliver our sprinter to the line first. We don't care if our teammate's in the break, right? We're going to chase that move down. What card does that teammate in the break have to play?
Slowing down.
Yeah. So he knows we're going for the win with the sprinter. What would you do in that situation? Yeah, you're going to sit on the back. I'm not working. My team's chasing us back. If you guys want for us to stay away, you guys are going to have to burn yourselves and deliver me to the line as fresh as possible. Or my team's going to catch us and we're going to smoke you in the sprint. That's the attitude. So it's a percentage game. You have a guy in the breakaway who's not a climber and we're finishing on a climb. What do you do in that situation? You're going to put your climber in position to try to win the bike race, right? Or the person you've staked out for the day. It's pretty logical when you think about it that way, but we get stuck behind this. You don't chase your teammates. You don't chase your teammates. You do chase your teammates when there is a reason to chase your teammates. Okay. That said, when you finish the race and that teammate goes, what the fuck? You chased me down. They need to understand this. They need to understand that we were trying to win the bike race, right? And we're trying to maximize our team's chance of winning the bike race. Okay, so be thinking that way as well. Oh, thank you. Who is it? Not actually sure how to pull it up. Thank you. No. All good. Okay. Any questions about that? That was a bit of a rant.
I might also add that make sure no other team wants to bring breakaway back.
Mhm.
Because they don't necessarily know that your guy can't swim. So they might want to bring it back themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. That said, take the initiative. Right? Say you have, the break's going up the road and you've got a team organizing. Well, don't mess with them. They're going to organize and hopefully chase the break back. But send 2 of your guys up to help. Right? Like, yeah, we'll roll through with you guys. Let's go. Let's get this break back. Oh, there we go. Steven. That ties in with another point that I want to make. You do not need to justify your actions to anybody in the bike race except your teammates. Right? You should not care what anybody else thinks except your teammates. You're trying to beat everybody else. So in that situation, you send 2 people up to chase the break back with your teammate in it. Other people go, wow, why are you chasing? What's going on? You're like, nope, this is the plan. Right? That guy can't sprint. We want to win the sprint. We got our sprinter sitting on the back, freaking shoving his face with gummy bears and like ready to go. Right? Which is what a sprinter should be doing. Questions? Okay. Next point ties into that. Know what kind of rider you are and what kinds of riders your teammates are. So that leaves little doubt what the plan is. Hey, we've got a team of 7 guys, 7 girls. We got sprinter. Say we have 2 good sprinters. We go, Hannah, you're the sprinter for the day. Right? You 2 can sprint. Hannah, you're the sprinter for the day. You're last lead out. Have that plan set up beforehand. Right? So that there's no ambiguity when you come into the final. Who's sprinting? Blah, blah, blah. Right? So you have the plan set going into the race. Say you have 4 other people that you know are good in the breaks. Well, you're not going to have them for the sprint, right? And we can talk about that in conjunction with the 2 types of lead up. You're going to send them up the road, go up the road, right? Cover breaks. Have a look at the course. Do we think this is going to end in a sprint? Is there climb at the end? Is our sprinter going to get dropped? Well, if our sprinter's going to get dropped, well, our sprinter's working for somebody else, right? So the course dictates how the race is going to go. Does that make sense? It's pretty, I'm almost just like laying out the logic of it, but it's hard to visualize it until somebody lays it out. I know that was way for me.
What if like somebody's kind of meant to be a sprinter, but then maybe in the moment, like they're having a bad day? Is that like, do people switch positions?
Hey, I'm fucked today. Cynthia, you're sprinting. What can I do to help? Here's a water bottle. Here's a gel. I'm done. Absolutely. Right. The plan never, ever, ever survives the bike race. Really good point. So you have a plan going in. You all adjust on the fly. Right. Hey, Cynthia, I'm having a great day. I'm feeling fantastic. I think I can win this sprint. Okay, fantastic. Let's switch it up. Right. The team wins. The team wins. Okay. So you have to know what kind of rider you are, what kind of teammates you have, and how to leverage all of your strengths to try to win the bike race. Always race forward. This is one of the most important things I ever heard was somebody just that. Always race forward. Right? He didn't say it exactly like that. There was some more. He was Australian, so it's a little bit more fruity, but you always race forward. You're never racing backwards. Always racing for the win. You're always racing to try to get across the break if that's the situation in the race. You're never going, I'm going to sit. I'm going to chill. You're always forward until you are bonked by the side of the road. Right? We're here to race bikes. Sure, there's going to be situations where you go into a race. Yeah, I'm not that fit, whatever. I want to finish. I want to finish the race. Whatever. That's one thing. When we're trying to win the race, you always race forward to the next group. It's split up in the crosswinds. I'm not going to sit third group and go, well, I hope somebody pulls it back. It's like, no, organize everybody. Boom. I want to get to the second group. And I'm going to drive the first. Boom. Suddenly I'm in the first group and racing for the win. Right. So it's that attitude. Switch on. Any questions about all of that? Those are the basics.
Question. Is there like a test to take here of what kind of rider you are? You don't feel like I'm
Yeah.
good at anything.
So the easiest, that's a great question. What's up, Tommy? So, two factors, power profile and your psychological profile, right? Power profile, fairly easy to test. 5 second, 30 second, 1 minute, 5 minute, 20 minute. Look at your power curve. What kind of rider are you? That kind of sets the stage, right? If you say you have the mindset of a sprinter, but the power numbers of a climber, yes, it's changeable. Yes, the power numbers are changeable to a point, right? But you can't even hit 1,000 watts, right? And you're 60 kilo, right? And you do FTP is like 5.5. You're probably not a sprinter, right? And even if you tried as hard as you could, like fresh creatine, whatever, you probably bump that sprint up, but why? Right? You're fighting to be something you're not. Vice versa, if you're a sprinter, 80 kilo, do 1,600 watts for whatever, right? You have that mindset. I crush people. Why would you try and be a climber? You're gonna end up anorexic, miserable, hungry all the time. Your relationship will probably end, right? You're not gonna win any bike races. Like, I was a sprinter. I tried to be a climber. I can tell you from personal experience, it doesn't work. Okay. So lean into those strengths. Obviously, you need to work on weaknesses, but lean into those strengths. So power profile, also psychological profile. What do you want to do in the race? Do you want to just go hurt people? There's some people that do, like Dylan, who just won track champs league, right? His whole thing is, I just want to go make people hurt. And you ask him, he's like, I just want to put the hurt on everybody, right? That's what gets him going, right? I was working with him at track nationals this past year, and we're in the gate for the pursuit. And I was like, all right, what's the plan? I'm going to go win. And I was like, with what splits? What am I like? I'm calling splits. Like, what do I need to tell you? But he's, I'm going to go win. I know what times I was first in qualifying. I know what time I have to do. I'm just going to go do that time. And he did. All right. So that's one attitude. There's attitudes. I'm super laid back, whatever, chill. Just put me in position. I'll go. Maybe more of a climber. Right. I'm a little bit more cerebral in my own head. Sprinters, bam, right? So lean into your power profile, but also lean into your psych profile. So knowing what kind of person you are, what makes you tick, but also what power profile you are. So it all has to work together. Right? For those of you that I'm coaching in this room, right? Never ever will I look at a power profile and go, well, I think you're this. I'm going to go, I think you're suited to this, right? But what do you want to do? What gets you going? That's why we sit for coffee. What do you want to do? Okay, so a few things to think about that. Does that answer your question, Trev? Okay. Any more questions? Those are the basics. So that's the common language we're talking. Trying to win bike races. Simple as that. Sweet. Can everybody hear me on Zoom? I'm just terrified that it's crapping out.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, get to that. Don't worry. We're doing some film study, guys. Okay. So the first proper topic, how am I doing on time, by the way? First proper topic, attacking. When? Pretty simple. When you need to. Why are you attacking for no reason? Well, like, It sounds silly when you do it, but you're in a race and you're like, I think now's a good time to attack. Why? Sit down. What are you doing? Is it a point where you're going to win? Are we going into a crosswind section? Are you even a rider that can ride in the crosswinds? Why are you attacking? I have this question so many times when I'm racing. What are you doing? Okay. These are the points where you want to think about attacking. You're covering a move, right? Or breakaways 10 seconds up the road. Bang! I need to bridge to it. String the race out. Right? I know there's a crosswind section coming up. My team's in position. I'm going to attack. Boom, string the race out, make another team chase. So that when we hit the crosswind section or the climb, whatever it is, the race just blows to pieces. Okay, so be thinking that way as well. Point of win. This is really important. If there is a point that you've decided you can try and win the bike race on, there's a climb that really suits you. There's a crosswind section. Right? There's a twisty descent and you're a better descender than everybody else. Point of win. Can I win in this point in the race? If so, I'm all in. Boom, going. We hit a berg. Boom, all in. Just whack them. Right? Pagaccia is a really good example of this. He's got 3 different seat posts with 3 different saddle positions. Right? Well, I guess 2 technically, but there's a 3rd one for flat stages. First one, angled down. So when he's on the climb, guess what? His saddle's level. He thinks he can win on the climb section. So he set his bike up to try and win on the climb section. Flat, probably crosswind. Probably going to try to win in the crosswind. Okay. Puts more of a TT saddle on, maybe breakaway day. Right? Pretty pointed way of saying, I think I can win in this section. I'm going to do everything I can to put myself in that position. Right? Do you remember, I can't remember what tour, I think it was 2013 tour. Chris Firm won. Somebody correct me on that date. He went, Giro d'Italia. He went from 10K in, 160K stage, to category gravel section, and he goes 10K in. He's the tour favorite. He's like 2 minutes behind. Proceeds to ride everybody off his wheel on the first climb, wins the day by 4 minutes solo, wins the tour. I was like, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. He knew what he needed to do to win overall, right? And if you can go in and read about it, he was carbo loading 2 days out, right? He was taking 140 grams of carbs an hour on the bike to try, because he knew this is going to be the biggest solo effort for 120K with mountains. This is the point I'm going to win. I'm going to do everything I can to try and win that point. So say you're in a spring series race. This is a climb I think I can win on, right? I'm going to eat for that climb all race. I'm going to go 4 laps in, whatever the race situation, right? 4 laps in, I'm hitting it. Make that decision. Point of win. Okay. Bridging. Last point. Bridging to a breakaway. Great option to attack. Right. Great reason to attack. If you're going to bridge to a breakaway, there's a couple points down low. We'll just jump to that. How to bridge to a break. Do not want to be the guy on the front pulling the field. When you attack, full gas, break the elastic, or don't. Right? You're either chasing as a team or you're bridging by yourself. None of this. I think I'm going to bridge, look back. I got the whole field with me. I'll just keep going. Absolutely not. Attack. Oh yeah, they're on me. Boom, done. Swing across the road. So why? What's the point? Right? You're bringing everybody with you, decreasing your own chances of winning by putting in that effort, and bringing people across the break, right? Or you're bridging solo, trying to increase your chances of winning on the day. Any questions about that? it's pretty straightforward and logical, and you kind of state it out, but it's really good to state out. Cover kill. And do you have to work in a break? So cover kill is a strategy used by a lot of the times by crit teams, right? That want a sprint at the end of the day. And it ties in with, do you need to work in a break? So cover kill is what it sounds like. You have set 3 people, whatever, 1 person, 2 people, cover every single move and kill it. Don't work. Actively disrupt it. Right? I'm sitting 5th wheel. I've been charged with covering killing for the first 20K because I think we have a sprinter who's going to win. No breakaways going, or the right breakaways going. Right? It's my job to decide which. I want a really weak breakaway up the road. Okay. Somebody attacks, bang, immediately on them. They look around. Oh, yeah, I got somebody with me. I got 2 people with me. Flick, no. Flick, no. Seriously, man, blah, 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 blah. You're not going to pull? No. Why are you not going to pull? No. What? No. Boom, we got caught. Next break, next goes. My teammate's on it. Bang, killed. So that is an actual strategy that is used. You watch any Pro Tour race, they are covering and killing every breakaway until the one they want goes up the road. Typically, in a Pro Tour race, it's riders from a lot of smaller teams that just want TV time. They're not actually going to affect the race at all, right? Hey, there's a weak breakaway. We can let them go 5 minutes up the road. We know if we ride hard for the last hour, we'll get them back within the last 5K, right? There was one group I was chatting with this about this morning, right? It's roughly 1 minute per 10K for a full team chasing full gas. It's percentage games. Okay.
What was it? 1 minute.
1 minute per 10K to pull a break back. So say you got a breakaway 2 minutes up the road, right? Full team chasing. We're going to shed riders to get this back, right? How many minutes? 20 minutes to get that back. 2 minutes up the road, 20 minutes, full gas effort to get that back. That's the math. And the full team, 6 people, right? I normally wouldn't do that into a sprint, right? Because you're burning all your teammates. But say the break's up the road and we're like, oh shit, we need to pull this back so our sprinter can win. Oh, our sprinter's going to sit, choose a different lead out train, which we'll talk about in a minute. Right? Choose a different lead out train. I'm going to sit, whatever, 20th wheel, chill. My team's going to drill the break back. I have a better chance of winning. If we don't get the break back, we have 0 chance of winning. We get the break back, say we have 10% chance. That's better than 0. Okay, so you're always thinking, how do I increase it? Build a break. It's like build a bear, but a lot more painful. The break builds. You get 1 guy goes, 2 guys bridge across. 1 guy goes, 1 guy goes. Everyone's like, it's just one guy going, 1 girl going, whatever. Oh shit, there's 8 people in the break and it's 3 minutes up the road. That's it, done. So always be cognizant of that. Build a break, right? You can look at courses and go, like a race course, and go, it's probably going to be build a break all day, and that's going to win. And by the end of the day, it's going to be 10 people in the breakaway. That's the lead group, technically. Everybody else is dropped at that point. Any questions about any of that? We kind of just blitz through it. Anything at all? Is it all like fairly straightforward and making sense? And you're like, why am I even sitting here? Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Max. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. It's making sense. Hey. Thank God. Okay. Oh. Lead outs. 2 main kinds. Has anybody found any spelling mistakes yet, by the way? So I'm sure there's some in here. Okay, we're good. 2 main kinds of lead outs. Full man. Oh, person. Keep writing that, I'm sorry. Full person lead out. Or the 1-man attack lead out. Anybody want to take a stab? I feel like I'm just talking. Anybody want to take a stab at explaining what those 2 are? It's pretty self-explanatory.
is one of them the whole team
Oh.
goes for it?
Yep.
And then the second one, maybe just one person goes?
Yep. Bingo. Yeah, awesome. I've put some bullet points down. We'll walk through them really quick. Full team lead out. It's hard to describe. Besides, you have your full team on the front, riding fast enough that no attacks can go. Typically used in the last 5K of road races, and anywhere from 1 lap in to 5 laps to go in a crit, depending on if you're Legion or not. All right, I think we've all seen Legion just set up a train on the front. There's a lot that they're doing, and we'll watch a video. There's a lot that they're doing to keep that train on the front that is not just blitzing the power on everybody. There are some courses where, you know, I've been in races with them where it's like, you know, the first year they started and they put Sam Boardman on the front and there'd be 130 guys strung out single file, like just flat out, and you couldn't move up. You like move up 2 riders and you'd blow up, and that was it, right? And it's just motor pace. We're doing like 60K an hour for an hour and a half, right? That's a full lead out on the front. The one we're gonna watch, so that was the first year that they were really dominant in the crit scene. UHC did it before them. You've seen Quickstep do it in the Grand Tours. There's always a dominant sprint train. What's the hair product in Germany with that team? Alps and Phoenix has just done it. People catch on and it gets pretty messy. Right, the last person to do it successfully at the Pro Tour level was Mark Cavendish with the Quickstep train, but they literally built a $3 million team around Mark Cavendish. Right, so hard to do without practice, strong riders, and you need a good road captain. So the video we'll watch of Legion, you're going to hear exactly what's happening. It is most effective. It's susceptible to swarming. So when the group swarms around, if it's not fast enough, okay, it's pretty easy to, oh, we just dropped it 2K an hour. It's fine. Boom, swarmed, right? It has to be like, pan. You want everybody in the wheels just dying. Corner blocking, we'll cover that in a minute. And this is the main technique that you use in a lead out, both lead outs actually, to stop riders swarming your lead out train if it's not fast enough. Okay, sweeping. What's a sweep? Anybody know? Justin Williams is probably the best sweep in North America right now. What's a sweep? Yeah, pretty much. So you'll have lead out train, sprinter, sweep. And the sweep's job is to make sure, literally to knock people off the sprinter's wheel and make sure he stays on the lead out train. It's incredibly physical, like literally physical, right? You're going through corners, people leaning on you. It's not a job that's very fun. You get crashed out a lot. Any questions about that? We'll watch a video of that in a sec. Okay, the one-man lead out train. Best if you have split teams. So say you've got a team of 6, put 4 people on breakaway duty. Here are 4 of you. We think you have a decent chance in the break. Go get in the break. All right, spend the first 50K catching and killing everything. Right? Of a crit, like first, right? You're gonna do 60K in an hour or 60K in an hour, 10 or whatever. So spend the first 40K catching and killing everything. Then you've got 2 sprinter and a lead out train. So the difference between that and a full man is you have to time it perfectly. It's very effective on technical finishes. I'll just read out my bullet points so I don't ramble. It's effective on technical finishes, needs to be timed just right, lots of communication. And when you go, it's fucking full commitment, full gas, right? I've chosen this point, this lamppost on this corner. I'm going to open it up and go full gas, 500 meters to go, and my sprinter's on my wheel going, right? I hit the wind in the front, bam, 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 done, sprinter goes. You tucked in the group. I'm going to make up 10 spots, bang, go. That's the one-man lead out. Okay. Any questions about that? Sick. Let's watch some film. How are we doing on time? All right, guess who it is? Okay, we're gonna watch it without music. It's 10 minutes long. We'll skip around a little bit. Pulsa Tough. I believe this is day 1. Yeah, day 1. Okay, I will watch it. Hopefully it's not blowing out speakers on Zoom. Okay, so they're starting to set their lead out up here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some guy in purple trying to screw it up. So it's skipping around a little bit. We'll stop it and do a bit of film study. Okay, here's a great example. This is how you block a corner. Okay, see the guy in purple? Watch what this rider here does. Inside, he's gonna move it out. Bang, close the door. Squeezing on the inside here, you can see 3 lead out trains battling. 1, 2, 3. You feel that? That was a headbutt. See how hard they're riding? It's full gas. 2 riders up the road. Okay, here's another good example of a corner block. Okay, watch what Corey does, who's got the camera. He checks. He's going to stay to the right. Pinch out. Pinch out. Back on his lead out's wheel. He's going to hold the rider there. They're going to get pinched out here in a second. And of course, they don't show it because they only show the good stuff. This is where the lead out starts to break down. They got swarmed at some point. Pretty standard. Skip ahead until they have their full lead out train set up. Okay. Here we go. 5 men on the front, full gas. What are they doing here? What are they doing on the inside of these corners? Yeah, so they're taking the inside to outside. Inside, so that nobody comes up the inside. Inside, right out to the barrier. Good question. Not necessarily, right? So you have a really strong all-rounder who can sit in a lead out train and rotate through, but doesn't have that kick for the sprinter. They're going to put him in the lead out for the sprinter. So you're leveraging strengths. Really good question though. Yes, in the lead out train, you're just suffering like a pig, right? Nope, absolutely not. Corey is the sprinter in this scenario. He's done nothing. He's actually letting his teammates in front of him. They're rotating through probably once a lap. These guys are strong, like proper strong. All right, here's a great example. Oh no. Sorry, guys. Let's see if we can find this again. There we go. Okay. All right, there it is right there. What did he do? Okay, we're gonna start here. Pinched. Yep. Watch what he does here. Okay, where is he in the corner? Corner apex right here. Lead out train here, or he's sitting right here. Where's the vulnerable side of a corner if you're trying to do this? I saw a hand go up. No, what's the one? Come on, it's a discussion. There's no wrong answers. What's the vulnerable point? Vulnerable point on a corner. Everybody here has raced a crit. Inside. So he is sitting here to protect the inside. Okay. Sophie, can I have a marker? For those of you on Zoom, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to hear me describe this. Wait for the best drawing you've ever seen.
And are they like actively pinching out the orange guy?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. Sophie.
It was working just fine, yeah.
Okay. Got a corner. Apex is here. You have your lead out, so you're coming into the corner this way, like this. For those of you on Zoom, can you even see a thing? Okay. Inside of the corner, right through here, outside. There's almost no way with a lead out train going outside, inside, outside. There's almost no way to come around the outside. So the only option you have, can everybody see this? The only option you would have is to try to dive bomb at the inside. So if you've got lead out guy here, lead out guy here, lead out guy here, lead out guy here, coming into the corner. If I am either the sprinter or the sweep, doesn't really matter. Oh, this is behind the desk, isn't it? I'm gonna move right. We're taking it right. I'm gonna move right off the lead out train here. Block the inside. And as the team comes across, watch what happens. Bang to the outside. Completely cleared the whole corner. Okay, here we're gonna get a really good view of what a sweep is doing. This is Justin Williams, probably the best sweep in North America. And I'll just let it play and you can watch it work. Point out a few things here. See how Corey pinched in? These guys are being super respectful right now. Inside, and he's gonna push out. Bang, get out of here. Fuck off. I do that thing. See how I pushed him that way? Come through the inside, pinch the barrier. Protecting the inside of the corner. Turn around. Just made up 2 spots on their opposing team. Good, good. We're good. Nice and steady. Don't even worry about them. Let them go. Watch what happens here. Come back, slot in. That's sample, just retire. Outside, inside, outside, just textbook. There's no way you can come by this without crunching. If you try and squeeze up the inside, they'll just pinch through. Inside, so they know that that corner is wide enough. Right for their wheel. Right jump. See how he cleared the inside of the corner there? It's back that.
So they're trained.
They're not gonna let you in.
Right.
Not a
So
chance.
she was trying to sit on-
There's also, we'll talk about this in a second. I want to replay this. This is exactly what we're talking about. Watch how he guards the inside right here. Where's the inside, guard the inside. Boom, and if he pinches left, even if you came up, he's gonna just right in the fence.
Is this sweeper gonna finish it?
Oh yeah, so he's got a sweeper trying to think.
Yes, we do.
Why did this sprinter guard the inside of the sweeper? Maybe the sprinters or the sweepers tied up, defending something else. Good practice as well, you right, you can't, as a sweeper, he's not gonna be able to protect inside outside all the time if he's swarmed. So the sprinter protects. Hear how much communication. These guys are so well trained, this is what they do every single week. This race is crazy. It's like on the straightaway or on the finish line, it's like 3 deep. It's Oklahoma and open drinking. It's just for beer only. See how they're just taking the corners outside, inside, outside. There's no way anybody's gonna find this. And when they're on the straights, this straightaway they know is danger. Full gas. It's got like you're gonna tell them. Everybody is with the ladder. Look at this. It's just completely strung out. They're going full gas right now. Check. Let's go. See how he swung in? Get him out of there. Just the outside, right? Look for it. Check. See how he's leaving the gap, so we can close it if they need. They're getting swarmed. So you can punch and close that count, get them on the drill. Cover the inside, first two. He's done. Job done. This is the last lap of it. Nobody's coming on this. Go, go.
Slide down. Is it just shoot?
So see that? He's gonna pitch him all the way to the corner. Bang. Gone. This is where it starts to break up. Lead up, but they've done their job. He's gonna pinch inside, pinch inside. Michael Hernandez, one of the best sprinters in America. Whack. 1-2. Just like that. Any questions?
Local crit courses, this would never work.
Absolutely not. 100% not. Really good point. And I was going to bring that up. What we're trying to do today is expose you guys to the highest level of tactics, the highest level of thought around bike racing, so that when you encounter something, you know what's going on, right? Notice how nobody was messing with them. If there's a full lead out on the front, why would you mess with the second guy in the row? Right? Why? What, like, is there a reason? You're trying to win the bike race. Why would you mess with the lead out train? Any? Yeah, so you have a guy up the road in a scenario like this, in a crit, they have captured and killed everything up until this point. Nothing's gone up the road. And if there was anything up the road, they are going so fast, they will bring everything back. They did that for the whole crit, pretty much, which is just insane. So in a local crit, no, you're never going to see this, but you will see aspects of this, right? It is a respect thing that you never fuck with a lead out. Never mess with a lead out, right? Because why would you? They're stringing it out. They're making it safe. They are doing their job. Right? You can mess with the sprinter, you can mess with the sweep, you can try to get on their wheel, but let the lead out beat. We'll start on this side.
Assuming that you can't, even with like 5 guys, like assuming you're not, Legion.
Yeah.
And you can't drill the entire crit, front to back. When and how do you get your team to?
Yeah. Good question.
I feel like other teams, they're gonna know.
Yeah. There's no other teams, like you saw Atomic and Best Buddies, who are the Best Buddies are in the turquoise, Atomic's in the orange. They tried, but they're just outclassed. Right?
How do you like form it together?
How would you? Yeah, so 2 ways. One, you start at the back and you just ride to the front as a team. In a crit like this, not gonna happen. Assemble at the front, everybody at the front. Right? And then you form your lead out train from there. You can literally ride across the road. Assemble, go. Legion, nobody's gonna mess with them, right? Because everybody knows what they're gonna do. Local crit, nobody's gonna be doing this. Right? I'm not asking you guys to do this. I'm not this is just to show you at the top level, this is a possibility, and to kind of open your mind to that. So when you are in a local crit, okay, oh, there's 3 guys on the front with 1 to go. Oh, wonder what might be happening. Right?
So, like in this situation, basically Legion like has it down. Like, so if you're in a crit and you know the people like who are assembling at front are better than you,
Mhm.
what can you do in that situation? Like,
Sit
what
on.
would the other riders have done?
Sit on. You saw Michael Hernandez in the red, tried. He was just outclassed. Right? But he still rolled 3rd. He's trying to win the bike race. Right? But they just have the best strategy and the best team. Most funding. Like can go on and on about it.
At what point, like say like going into the corner, do you know it's time for you to back out? Like
in
when-
general?
Yeah, or like if you're getting kind of pushed around, like does it just kind of depend on who, like how well you know the people around you?
I would never trust the people around you ever.
But no, like if
Including
you know
teammates.
that someone is easy to push around, then
Yeah.
you know they're gonna back up what you do.
Maybe.
But then if you know someone's not back out at all, then
You either take the initiative or back off. As a general rule, as a racer, I would protect myself until 5 laps to go. Then it was just, if I crashed, I crashed. Trying to win. Right? If I'm 20th wheel, 30th wheel with 1 to go, I'm sitting up. Like, why put myself in that risk zone? If I think I can win. If you're like, I think the best I can get today is 20. Well, you're gonna fight for that 20th. Right? In this in the races I was doing, I was fighting. Well, my job was slightly different, but on days when I was fighting for it, I was fighting to win. Right? And I'm going to that, my attitude reflected that. So I gave myself permission with 5 laps to go. Yeah, if I'm gonna crash, I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna try to win this bike race. And if I'm gonna crash the whole field out trying to win this bike race, so be it. Right? That's a high level bike race. In local level, I would always measure the risk reward factor and probably side on the not risking it for the biscuit factor. Right? But some of you guys in here are gonna go do Tulsa one day. Right? I would imagine.
Yeah, just like a rule of thumb, if you're in a corner, you're not going to bash someone into the barrier like Legion. Like you're like in a local crit, like going into the corner and like someone's like trying to like come up on your inside or your outside, knowing that like you gotta protect your front wheel, and if you're like handlebars in front of theirs, then you
control.
get, like control and
So push them out.
Yeah.
All right, create your space and protect it.
So it's not like a physical thing, like forming people to form in a certain spot, this is my wheel.
Yeah.
Bugger off.
I would never say that. I'd go, "Hey!"
Yeah, no, I'm.
right?
maybe a
But,
bit more
hey,
polite, but-
move!
But yeah,
right? You can do that. In a lot of situations, it's already happening and you just have to react and do it.
I mean, isn't bad sportsmanship to ride someone off the barrier, like, they.
Totally, until one lap to go. Absolutely. One lap to go, somebody's coming up on the lead out train. And it's either pinch him into the barrier, and if he crashes, he crashes. Like, it's his decision to pull the brakes, right?
So like, what if you come up behind someone and even if the handlebars are ready, you continue to pinch them until they basically just like crash?
If your handlebars are behind theirs.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
No, not a chance. Yeah, if you have bars on. You can push. I would never push somebody into barriers. Right, unless provoked to.
it's also like really bad, like, right beside each other, and push them in barriers, so the odds that they're gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Is super high.
Yeah,
and
if
then
you
it's-
crash,
it's-
you can't win the bike race,
Yeah,
right?
ambulance time.
Yeah, so we are talking, we're talking this high level race stuff. But it's to inform you of what the level is. And give you some ideas for your own racing. It's not to say, go out and do what these guys do, because these guys are getting paid, 6 figures, some of them. To try and do this. Right, that's their job. So you cannot compare it. It's good to watch and go, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. But for our racing, this is just information to know what's there. I'm not saying to do any of this. I don't know if I've iterated that. Legion is some of it special. And they're pretty mean. Right? Pretty much every dominant crit team has been like that over the years.
Can you clarify that no messing with the leading person? Because don't you? Like, I just don't see why there's an exception.
It's completely selfish. If I think I can win the race, why would I mess with the lead out train that is preventing people from beating me in the sprint?
Because then they have spots in the front and you know, great.
But you know that they're going to filter down to, there's only one person crossing the line at the end from their team. So if you're on their wheel and you jump them on the last corner, there's a good chance you're going to win. Right? But if you jump 5 laps to go to fuck up the lead out, right? The race is going to break apart. It's going to be a swarm. There's going to be 10 riders across all trying to do the same thing. It's going to be chaos. I'm 20 wheels back. That's it. Right? There's also a respect aspect to it. You guys are doing your job. I can mess with the sprinter, right? But again, we're trying to win the bike race. If he has the best chance of winning the bike race and I'm on his wheel, well, guess what? I've got a good chance of winning the bike race if I jump it. Then you're fighting for that wheel. 3rd wheel back. Okay, I'm in a good spot here. I can maybe move up in the last corner and go. Right? But if you stop the lead out train happening, suddenly everything becomes chaos and it's unsafe. The safest race is a fast race where it's strung out. General rule. Does that answer your question? Same thing with a chase. Right? If you have a teammate in the break and another team is chasing, don't mess with it. You can counterattack. Right? You can wait till the break gets back and then counterattack. You can try to bridge solo to the break. But out of respect for those people and the job they're doing, it is an unwritten rule that you do not mess with the chase. You can sit on the chase, right, but let them do their thing. You see that a lot in pro tour racing now. Chase will go and there'll be some fighting for the back of it, but they're going to bring it back. You're going to get yelled at. Sit on, enhance your chances of winning the race by counterattack. So be thinking, and that's part of always racing forward. Okay. Got an hour left, so we'll crack on here. Okay. Team train. Oh, we're gonna stop the music here. Okay. Let's wait until we get the Train rolling. Oh, thank you. Okay, this is going to skip around a little bit. This is another view of a lead out train. Little different. There's a break up the road and we have a guy in it. We are not chasing the break back. We are controlling the peloton because we think our guy has a good chance of winning the break. This is me with the camera.
That's you?
That's me. With the camera, not this guy. This is Timmy Bauer. We got 3 guys, 4 guys on the front now. I'm road captain. I'm organizing. I'm using the corners to allow people to come in. We're riding tempo. This doesn't last. We get swarmed and that's it. But the breakaway, this is us getting swarmed here. But the breakaway lasted. Okay. So this is what I wanted to focus on. As road captain here, I am directing what's happening, letting my teammates in. Right. At this point, I'm screaming at Timmy, in. Right. I'm using the corner to make everything easy and smooth. Okay. So when you are doing a lead outs or you're chasing or you're doing a team time trial, anytime you're doing a pace line, there's several things that allow you to exchange more easily. Transition into uphills, transition into downhills, and corners. You can almost get a free ride to the back that way. Okay. So I've come into the corner, I've stayed wide, therefore opening a gap, and I'm going to jump on Timmy's wheel here and ride it right to the back of the train. I've used no power whatsoever. He has inadvertently protected the outside. So that's another example of, and we won't watch the rest of this because it's a cluster, but that's an example of, I don't want screen. Another lead out train, another example of a lead out train. That was more of a controlled lead out train. It's an example of a slightly slower one. We weren't riding full gas by any means. Team train, it's not a lead out train. Okay, 1-man lead out. Any questions before we move on? Okay. Again, this is me. Plan here. 1 lap to go. Our sprinter has been sitting safe up here. We know that there is a 3 or 4-man lead out train that will probably win this bike race. Right? We don't have the strength to compete with them. So our plan is for our sprinter to be on the best sprinter in the race, which he's on right now. I'm the lead out man, the only lead out man, which is my job on this team. I'm going to attack as hard as I can. There's also a breakaway up the road, so that's another factor. I'm going to go as hard as I can, bringing the group with me until 2 corners to go, so that the race strings out and my sprinter has a good chance of not getting swarmed. That was the only plan we set up before the race. Said, you're going to be on his wheel with 1 to go. I'm going from here, and whatever happens, I'm going to go full gas until I blow up. Be in the brake position or don't, I don't care. That was it. You end up getting 3rd. Because somebody pushed him into the barrier. So we'll watch this. This is a stage of turbo stage 3, I believe. This guy here, very, very good racer. Dog bumps the corner. You can see me get whacked. I had to go a little earlier than I would have liked. Got whacked right there. Push, move out of here. Right, inside. I know the front of the race is there. There's a breakaway of 4 guys on the road. If I don't go, they're saying, and we have 0% chance. Clever Martinez, best sprinter in the race. His teammate right there, they don't set the lead out up yet. So I soft pedal through that corner. I'm gonna hit it as hard as I can up the inside. Or outside, depending. Clever. Sprinter's just on the wheel. Breakaway is up there. I'm drilling. I don't care what's happening. Going as hard as I can. That's the break. Camera, got it, got it. Three corners to go. I'm gonna get caught on the inside here by Clever's lead out. You see there's Clever's lead out guy. Clever there. He's gonna push me wide. Boom, inside. Sprinter comes through. So I'm gonna try him on the wheel. I know I'm about to blow up. I know I'm blowing up. Right, there's our sprinter. Right there. So he attacks around the left, so he gets pinched on the barrier side, but he's on Clever's wheel. That's a sprint. And I just set this one. Why am I bothering? So that was a one-man lead out, an example of a one-man lead out. You don't necessarily have to have the sprinter on your wheel. But what I did there was for the sprinter, it wasn't for me, I was trying to win. Okay. Any questions about that? Third. It was better odds than getting fifth with the break, and
If the break wasn't up the road, what would you have done different?
same thing.
Rated
I would have
later?
hopefully waited. Another part of this is I had to pick my opportunity to go. Right? If I didn't go out of that corner, maybe it pinches left. Right? And then that's it. I can't go. I have to, smash my way out and go. So I took my opportunity. It was a little earlier than I would have wanted. Bang, hit it. It's never going to be perfect.
So the best sprinter in that race, would his team not have caught that break?
I don't know.
Like, what would be the difference between like,
I think they may have had a guy in there.
okay.
Yeah.
Making that calculation of like, okay, there is a, like, this happened to me a lot actually, like there's a break, but I know the best person or the best sprinter in the race is here in the main group. So, and if I'm the only one on my team, am I gonna sit on the sprinter's wheel, the person who I think has the best chance of winning the race, or am I gonna go chase them first? If there's like.
Bridge. Would you chase it down or would you bridge?
Bridge.
Bridge. Okay, so you're going to try to bridge the break or sit on the sprinter. Do you think you can beat the sprinter?
No.
Do you think you can bridge to the break?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you have a good chance of winning out of the break after you've bridged?
Oh, yes. But
There you go.
I know that maybe I would probably bring the sprinter with me, because I know that they can like hold the same power, like, I know that they can keep up with me in that bridge.
So then you wait until they're in a position where they can't go with. Oh, they're 7 riders back eating. Bang. Feed zone. Bang. Don't attack their feed zones, guys. Don't attack their feed zones. Oh. Any more questions about lead outs? A lot of it is academic. A lot of it is just recognizing when it is happening. Okay. I would love if we could try some lead outs. Eventually. Why not? It's fun. Okay. But a lot of this is academic and just so that we have a language to talk when we do go into a team meeting. Hey, Sophie, you're leading out Cynthia. You're leading out Hannah. Hey, Hannah, you're leading out Sophie. When are you going? That mailbox on the right, 400 meters to go. Sophie, you're hitting it as hard as you can. Your job is to be on her wheel. Doesn't matter how you do it. You have to be on her wheel, and it's not her job to make sure you're on her wheel. She's leading you out. You have to be on her wheel, and you know what she's going to do. She hits it, bang, you hit it. If you win, you win. If somebody else is better than you on that day, better than you, but you made the best plan with what you have to try and win the bike race based on everything you know about the course, participants. Any questions before we get into crosswinds? This is, I love talking crosswinds. Any questions from the chat? I've been kind of neglecting this, to be honest with you. Everybody good here? Still working? Okay, beautiful. Okay, crosswinds. What are features of a race? Okay, what else?
Location.
Climbs. What else? Crosswind section. What else? Okay. How about just the course? Just the course. Anything else?
Road quality.
Road quality, cobbles, road furniture, road width. Tons and tons of factors. So the one we're going to focus on, obviously, here is crosswinds. If you are not a climber, then this might be a feature for you. When we're talking, say we're talking classics, a berg is a feature. There's a feature with 20K to go. Okay. Main feature of a race, but you need to know about it beforehand. Anybody know what VeloViewer is? Okay, VeloViewer is, Nick, what's VeloViewer? Mm.
I don't know much about it. I've heard
Totally, yeah, bang on. So when we do a pre-race meeting, which we're either going to do on site or via Zoom for both Glotman, UBC, we will be talking about features on the course, weather condition, start time, blah, blah, blah. VeloViewer, really important for wind direction, elevation, being able to visualize the course in your head and map out where the features are on the course. Okay, normally I would go VeloViewer and then a wind direction app. Right, pull them up and go, okay, I know this is the course. Just say classic spring series course. Wind direction. Where are the features on this course? For those of you on Zoom, I'm sorry, you can't see. It's a big square with an arrow. Where are the features? Corners. Okay, so we got 1, 2, flat course. This is a profile. Flat. 4 corners, what else? Headwind. What else? What are the 2 main features? Yeah, right here. What direction? That's a really dumb question. It's going this way. Okay, so we got 2 features. Say we're doing 8 laps. How many features? 8 features. What makes this feature different to this feature? What else? Opposite before and after. So where would you attack? The tailwind. So you would attack here. Or here. Here.
But once you hit the cap,
We're going this way.
Work.
Bingo. Everybody would think, hey, I'm going to attack here because we're going into a headwind. Some validity to it. I would attack here. Why? What happens in a tailwind? Trevor said. Yeah, exactly. Everybody, regardless of where you are, is going to be doing the same effort. Discourages chasing. So I would attack here, knowing there's a crosswind section and a headwind section. Is that new for anybody, that concept? Just easy to have it stated. Yeah. So you're always thinking about the features on the course together with what's happening around it. All right, let's put a climb in this. Let's say headwind section. There's a climb at the end. How does that change it?
Probably tough.
Yeah, evened it out. What happens on a climb with a headwind? Yeah, what else? You're on the wheels on a climb of the headwind. Yep, there will be more of a slingshot, right? But why is there a slingshot? Why? So you're on the hill right now. Harder on the front if there's a headwind. Duh. Right? If you're in the wheels, it normalizes the effect of the hill. Headwind, making it harder. Person in front of you taking the headwind. Doubly hard for them. Okay, so there's a feature of a headwind hill. What about a tailwind hill? So everybody's working the same. You feel when you're out riding in a group. If you're thinking about it, which is really the main reason of this talk, is just to make you think while you're out riding. All really valid points. You've got 2 crosswind sections, hill, lots of corners. I think we kind of talked that one to death. Fellow viewers, just a great app we'll be using. I can introduce it. Okay, if you are out of position, you are fucked. What does that mean? You're going into a crosswind section, no hill. Going into a crosswind section here. What happens if you're out of position here? You're gonna turn the corner, and then what happens? You're out of position, you're fucked. So where is positioning important? Everywhere. Everywhere on this course, positioning is important. Okay. When you have a crosswind section in a race, say a point-to-point race, and you have a crosswind section that is a main feature, but doesn't have, so it's not doing laps. So say it's 20K run in tailwind, right turn, crosswind from the left for 10K, left turn, tailwind again. That's the main feature of the day. So if you're out of position, you've just wasted 20 kilometers. If you're out of position coming into the crosswind section, you've just wasted the last 20K. You should be thinking from the start of the race, I need to be X wheel, 5th wheel coming this corner here. And if you hit that, even 80%, I'm 6th, 7th wheel. That's a process goal check. Whatever happens at the end of the race happens, but I've set myself up to be in the best position possible in the main feature of the day. Okay.
Can you say a bit more about the mechanics of why the crosswind is so much of a feature? It's
Yes.
very straightforward to imagine that.
Yep. We are going to watch a video. Yeah. And that will illustrate it better than anything I can ever say. Okay. I've kind of talked that one to death. Echelon. Everybody here know what an echelon is? Okay. Brilliant. Who here knows what an echelon is? Wind coming from this direction, you would be on the side of the road going this way. Echelon is a rotating pace line for crosswind. Is how you deal with crosswind. The idea is you are going to stack riders across the road like this. So that as the wind hits them here, they are providing draft across this way and back. And you will feel this when you're in a crosswind. If you are this rider or any of the riders and you're right on the hip here, you're in the pocket. That's what we call it, pocket of the echelon. Okay. We're going to talk about echelon mechanics in a second. Any questions about the basic idea of an echelon? Sweet. Who's done an echelon? Yeah, sweet. Awesome. Okay. Gatekeeping. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll come back to this slide. What happens to these riders here? Wind's coming from this direction. What happens to these guys or girls? You are completely screwed. There is no hiding. Work or die. You're either working in the echelon or rotating, or you're here. You get to pick. Simple as that.
How do you rotate it?
We'll get to that in a sec. What's up, Philip? So you keep these two things in mind. Gatekeeping, which we'll talk about in a sec. When we're watching the video, work or die. Okay. This is one of my favorite videos of all time. Okay. This is 2013 Tour of Turkey, stage 4. Pan flat, howling crosswinds all day. Massive highway. And these guys, Auto, have the best sprinter in the race. They also have the best lead out in the race. They have won the last 3 stages. Okay, Greipel, Andre Greipel, who just retired. He's somewhere in here. I think that might be him actually. Massive German guy. Call him the gorilla. That might be him back there. He's fucking huge, dude. They are about to absolutely destroy this race. 40K up. Okay, echelon mechanics. This is an echelon, they're riding across. Which way is the wind coming from? Yeah, bingo. I want to cross this way. This guy's suffering like a pig. Rotating across into the wind. We'll get a better view of this in a sec. Slotting back and going back along the outside. Sorry, back along the back. We'll get a better view of this in a sec. Notice who's all together. Auto. And they have 6 guys, these poor bastards. This was one of the most jaw-dropping exhibitions of crosswind tactics I've ever seen. That's why we're watching it. I've skipped around. 40K to go. All right, echelon mechanics. We're gonna watch this a couple times. Sorry, people on Zoom, I'm neglecting. We're gonna watch this through for a second. We'll go back and talk about it. Okay, let's go back and talk about this. Okay. Crosswind coming this direction. Obviously, they're riding that direction. This guy's having a free ride down here. Front of the echelon, this is the pointy end here. Rotating into the wind. Watch what happens to this rider here, and now this rider, he is going to jam himself into the pocket. Up into the pocket, he's now sheltered. 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 Rotating back, and the same thing at the bottom, you're gonna rotate, go back to the top. We're gonna find out what happens when a team decides that they're gonna win the bike race. Right now. All right. What happened? Yeah, guttered. Literally. Okay, so they pinched across the road. Notice how wide the road is. They pinched across the road. We are now 1, 2, 6 men wide. Everybody else here, this is the pinch point. These guys are trying to form a little echelon. They're about to be smashed. Pinch point here, this guy's fucked. Whole team. This is the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper allows people in or out of the echelon. Okay, so if I'm on the back of the echelon, I'm not working, right? The echelon's rotating in front of me. Somebody's in there that I don't want. Well, I'm gonna move in front of them, pinch them into the gutter, gone. Right? I'm also directing. Move left, left, pinch down, move right. At some point, everybody in this room will be in this position. or has been in this position. Boom, split, gone. Those guys are, look how hard they're riding to not get across. Splintered. This guy did his job. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lotto guys and 2 guys from some random Italian team. These guys are trying to form another echelon, but the race is gone. Completely gone. $25K to go. Race is over for everybody except for 2 guys. Who are the 2 guys? The 2 Italian guys in this shitting themselves. What are they doing? No. 1, 2. Work or die. Work, or these guys are going to put you in the gutter. You're gone. So now they're just going to team time trial till the finish. This Italian guy actually does quite well here. Easy. 1st, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Did they have their whole team?
Whole team at the front.
They're like just
Pre-planned. We know this section, we've looked at the map and the wind direction. We know this section is going to be crosswind. Everybody at the front at this kilometer. We're going at this kilometer. Race director's on the radio. Go now, go now. Oh, it's probably German. Right? Let's go in German.
Spelling mistake, but you're using wrong.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, I did realize that. Yeah. Type this up last night. Any question?
Although it has like 5 guys, 6 guys there.
Yep.
And we can buy everyone else off the wheel. Why are they have this 2 talent guys working?
Good question. No idea. Maybe they knew him. Right, maybe they're buddies.
But if they decide to, they could.
100%. You have 6 guys out of 8 man breakaway. What do you do in that scenario? Whatever you want. Wait till they're on the back. Boom. 3rd guy goes. Who's going to chase him? You 2. Right? Oh, you caught our teammate. Boom. Another guy goes. Oh, we got 6 guys here. We're just going to attack you over and over and over again until you're both fucked. And then there'll probably be 3 of us up the road. We'll go 1, 2, 3. I don't think they cared that much at that point. Who cares? We've got, we're going to win. We have the best sprinter and he's in the group. And there's he has 100% chance of winning that bike race unless they all crash. Right?
It's just not worth it.
Who cares? Yeah. The prize money's probably not worth it for a second. Right? Who cares? Maybe they worked out a deal. Hey, you give us the prize money and we'll let you take second. That happens all the time. What's wrong with that? Guy gets the biggest result of his career, probably jumpstarts his career, that Italian guy, right? We get the prize money, we don't care, we're lotto, right? We're prepping for the tour. We're gonna go try and win the Champs-Elysees. We don't care about you, right? Maybe he's a buddy, maybe he wants to help. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just, whatever. Could they have gutted those guys? 100%, absolutely.
So if you're the person who happens to be in an operation, a lot of but with the team, what should you?
How many options do you have? Yeah, what are they?
Work or sit?
Work or sit. Okay, what else? More options. You could attack. What else? You could always get dropped. Right? Those are your options. Right? You say you're in a breakaway with two other teammates. Probably not gonna win that unless you are the best sprinter in the group and have the best 20-minute power and are the best climber and can do it twice as much as they can. Right? Because they're just gonna go 1, 2, 2 until you're toast. So you can probably get second. Right? Maybe you can beat one of them. But what would you do? The general question. What would you do if you were in a break with a teammate and one other person? Yeah. You look at your teammate and you go, let's go on the hill. Bang! Who's gonna chase? Your teammate just sits on him or her. Just sit here. You go get him or her. Yep, really classic. There's if you want to go see what happens if you screw it up, Ian Stannard, I believe it's Ghent Wevelgem 2019. Team Sky, Ian Stannard's on Team Sky, Irish guy. In a breakaway with 3 EdX quick step riders. Beats them all. Right. They attack 1, 2, pulls it back, whacks them. And they just can't get him. Everybody's tired, times it perfectly, and he wins it. You imagine the conversation on that team bus afterwards. What? Right? Any questions from the chat? The chat. Yep, thanks. Yep. Okay, that's all that I have for today. That's it. I know it's both a lot and not a lot of material because a lot of it is just stating the obvious, like the logic of bike racing. But it is a lot of material to cover and actually think about. And then when you are, so here are you writing notes on my slides? No. Oh no. Oh no. Be kind. Yeah. So it is a lot of material. It's a lot to think about when you're out riding. Gutter somebody in a crosswind. You're out riding with your buddies. Oh, I can see the flags going and I know we're going to turn right here. Practice, right? You know you're about to get guttered. What do you do? Around the other side, gutter that. Right. Any questions? Anything at all? We got 20 more minutes.
What about getting to the front? So you have someone in the breakaway ahead, and I'm in the back position. I get to the front of the group. What if I just like chill on the front? Like that will like
why not?
People, and they'll have to go past me.
Yeah.
But like I take a pull, but my pull is like
tempo,
chill.
Whatever. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Absolutely.
And then it
maybe it's spring series and it's pissing rain and 2 degrees and you're frozen and your teammates 3 minutes up the road with 20K to go and you're like, I just want to pull over or finish and I want to get warm. Well, yeah, rotate through a little bit. Who cares? Right? As long as you're not going to take the win away from that teammate. Yeah. Say you want the gap to increase. Yeah, roll through a little bit. Slow. Take your time pulling over. Right? You're not disrupting the chase. If there's 4 people in a team on the front, which hardly ever happens, by the way. Usually one dude just like on the front, right? For no reason. Right? Or his team says, go chase the breakaway down. You know, good luck, buddy. Yeah, don't disrupt it if that's happening, but if it's just rolling through and there's a bunch of different teams, why not roll through a little bit?
And also in sprint series races, like why do you personally walk the line in between being assertive and
me personally? Are you or in general? Because there's
maybe
shut up, Trevor. In general.
Because I know last year, like in the sprint series races, there was a lot of people who were like yelling about, like not being like 2x2.
What?
Yeah, I got yelled at.
Or like, what's it called, half wheeling and stuff,
For half wheeling?
yeah.
Did you tell them it's not a group ride?
No, I'm just.
Yeah, no. Again, you're always racing forward.
Okay.
Why are you riding two up? So good. It's true.
Like, you never think of the change into doing something possible and doing it to somebody else.
Oh yeah, the circle of life. Absolutely. Yeah, if you can get somebody to do something for you that is against their chances of winning, absolutely do that. Right? You're in a breakaway with somebody and you think you can beat them, but you know that they have a good sprinter in the group that's on their team. Oh, come on, work. Let's go. We can do this. We can stick this gap. Where? Come on. Like patch turns. Let's go. Right? Why not? Right? Somebody does that to you. Well, now you have the knowledge to go, nah, I'm good. It's gonna piss people off. But that's the game. That's the game of cycling, which I personally love. I would not take any recommend, like, I'm not talking, this is not me personally talking, right? I am an asshole on the bike. Okay? Don't do what I do, right? There's a lot of guys like that. I mean, I'm an asshole in person anyway, but like, I flip the switch when I'm on the bike, when I'm racing, and I have numbers on. So I'm trying to beat people. I'm not going to crash them out, but, hit you out in a corner. Questions?
We don't have flourish teams or echelons that go across. It's usually not more than 2 across. So for like crossing strategy, when it's that small, like, we're not really setting up big ones. How does that, like, what does it mean to be in a good position for a crosswind if you're just riding the crosswind?
Be on the inside.
Is that it?
Be on the inside. If you can get somebody to ride in the wind, in a crosswind, or if they're just riding in the wind, why would you tell them not to? Right? It happens all the time locally. Don't be this person, by the way, right? You make the turn into the crosswind and buddy's just sitting there riding and you're just tucked up on the hip, just chilling in the crosswind section. Why would you tell that person, hey, you're in a crosswind, you should not be in that position? Use it. Free ride. If you have a team of 3 people, set up a little echelon. Why not blow the race apart? It's kind of fun, right? Guys, hey, guys, 3 laps in, let's blow the race apart on this section. Hannah, Cynthia, Sophie, let's get like 3-person echelon. Nobody can come in to that echelon. You just drive it. Boom, race has exploded. You've just increased your chances of winning the race by dropping people. That's what I think. Anytime I see somebody go off the back, I'm like, well, my chances have increased by X percentage. It's a cruel way of thinking about it. Also, when I'm getting dropped, it's like my chances of winning have just decreased to 0%. Right? It's always what's going through my head. Ah, shit. Okay. Any other comments? Anything anybody wants to add? There's a lot of experience in this room as well. Like, I've just been talking, I'm trying to highlight points, but take them, make them your own. There's a lot of experience in the group chat as well. Like in this chat here, yep, yep. So if you have anything to add, like jump in. We can do another one of these if you guys want. We can cover sprints, we can cover climbing, positioning, we can cover like how to use VeloViewer. How do you eat for a race? Like it doesn't just have to be race talks.
In this, crosswind situation, the box.
Yep.
If the hill is there.
Mhm.
So the move is to sit on the wheel of the leader going up the hill or close to the front, and then at the front, when the leader is tired, you back.
Yeah.
Into the cross.
Absolutely. If they're not organized in an echelon, they'll just. If. Say there's gonna be an echelon here, and it's gonna be hard. What happens on this hill? Right, you're gonna come down the hill, turn right. Into a crosswind section that you know is going to be hard. So what does that mean for this climb? Fight for position, because you know if you sag climb this climb, okay, there's another term. Sag climbing. Talk about that. If you are not in position at the top of the hill, you won't be in position at the bottom of the hill unless you descend through everybody, which I wouldn't recommend. And if you're not in position at the bottom of the hill, you're not going to be in position for the crosswind and you won't be in the echelon. Right? So in this scenario, you are not going to be able to fit this amount of riders across there. How many riders can you fit across a single lane?
5.
Say probably more like 4. Going full gas, right? Because you're doing this in the wind. So if you are not in the top 5 or 4, when you come here, you're going to be here. Unless you make that move around this side into the echelon. Right? Pretty self-explanatory. Good question. Any others? I'm trying to make this a discussion as well. I feel like I've been talking.
Big picture question, but so a lot of this is very strategic and kind of think your way around it. But like, I personally, what I find difficult is that you're there in the race, if you're in my position anyway, you're not experienced, so you don't always know what's going on.
Yep.
Your brain is completely out of oxygen.
Yep.
So how do you implement this in practice?
Practice. You practice it. You practice it in training while you're training with the team, training with your friends. When you show up to a race, you come armed with knowledge. You look at the weather, the wind direction, you look at the course and you go, I know where the crosswind sections are for this. So that the decision is not made at the time. If my process goal, this would be a great process goal. I want to be top 4 every single lap. That's 8 process goals. I want to be 4th wheel at the top of the climb for 8 laps. And whatever happens here, finish lines here, whatever happens here is a complete bonus. But I've set myself up in position to be successful. So that decision is not made at the moment. It's made sitting in your car before the race or the night before when you're looking at it. So that when you're in the race, the only thing you have to think about is how do I get to top 4 at the top of this climb? What do I need to do? Right. And absolutely, as you gain more experience racing, you will be able to function on less oxygen. It will become more instinct rather than having to think through everything. But the more you can think through before the race, the more knowledge you have, the better. You show up at a spring series race, what's something that will tell you the wind direction without even looking at a Bellevue? You're in the race and the wind starts coming. What's going to tell you? Trees, grass, flags, right? We're racing in Aldergrove mostly. There's like football field size American flags are right across the border. Like it's hard to miss. Crosswind. Okay, so it is really that simple. You would be shocked how few people locally even think about this. Or show up to a spring series race with a plan. or with any knowledge whatsoever. Right? That's all we're trying to do here. Not giving you guys race strategies, obviously. I'm trying to give you guys base level knowledge to function as strategic platforms, right? Hey, it's a crosswind day. Hey, it's a climb day. Well, okay, well, there's a whole other 2-hour talk about freaking positioning for climbs. Right? That's course specific. How do you position for a 20-minute climb, which we don't have any in? Are you doing deals in the back of the class? That's a $20. That's a $20 bill you just passed across me. You're paying $20 for that bottle of sealant? It's a good deal. You're losing money, man. Come on, brother.
First, I've never, even knowing about echelons.
Totally.
I've never seen anyone do it. Food park is always possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Pull up an echelon, food park, you probably.
Yeah. Who's racing Bloom? Who's planning on racing Bloom? Yeah. What's the first stage of Bloom? Okay. Anybody know anything about it? Let's hear it. Okay. Yeah. What is the course exactly?
It's like half, like a big square, and then there's like a small square.
Yep. Yep.
And then the top one is just like, it's like a super long road. Depends if good winds on, but it's like crossing from either.
Yeah.
The first year I did it, I had a team down in front and just like I blew up. I was like, I got it, lost like 5 minutes.
Yep. Exactly.
Next time it was a head.
Yep. Yeah, it's a big like square with a little like that on a plateau at about 1,000 feet elevation. Howling cross, like literally howling crosswinds, and it looks like Quebec. It looks like somebody took a rug, shook it. In the middle of shaking it, they built a road over it. So you're dealing with these crosswinds and this constant, like Marine Drive, all day, just howling crosswinds, echelons everywhere. It blows apart. So knowing this stuff, you can look at it, look at the Bella viewer and go, where do I need to be? Like, start thinking now about that stage. Because if you can do well in that stage, shit, I got 5 minutes on everybody. Right? Oh. I think we'll wrap it. You got 5 minutes. I can't, Regis, I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I'm going to shut the Zoom call down. Thank you very much for coming on Zoom. Cheers, Billy. Cheers, Regis. Okay, thanks, guys.